guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make 6 easy birthday DIY projects. Most of these are decor, and then there's going to be a cake and also a card. All of these are super simple, super easy for anybody to do, and also super cute. I'm going to show you the inspiration as well as the price of the products. So let's get to it. Okay, so the first item we're making is a fabric banner. This is really simple. If you have any clothes or extra spare fabric hanging around that you want to use, you can do that. Or you can go over to Hobby Lobby or Michael's, go to their clearance section, and there's tons of fabric you can pick from. Or you can just pick some fabric out and have them cut it for you, and you can use that as well. So here is all the fabric that I got for this project. In total, I spent $10 on fabric. And then you'll just need any ribbon or string that you have lying around. It doesn't really matter what kind of string it is. I have twine and then this ribbon lying around, so I'll use one of these. Depending on how long you want it, you can adjust that length based on how much fabric you buy. So I picked out a few different colors. This is totally customizable to you. I wanted it to be super colorful, so I got pink and blue and green and purple and a yellow, and we're just gonna have this be super colorful. But yeah, customize this however you want. If you want to just do blues or you want to just pick 3 colors, it's really up to you. I had them cut my fabric into 1/4 of a yard, and how I'm gonna do this is I'm just gonna cut strips, and then once I've cut all the strips, I'm gonna tie it to the string. So y'all will see that in this next step. Okay, so what I'm doing for cutting the fabric so that we can make the fabric banner is I folded my 1/4 fabrics into thirds, and I'm gonna be cutting it into strips. Okay, I'm just gonna cut it down this way, and I want it to be about like an inch width, and it obviously doesn't have to be like perfectly straight line because we're just tying it. So it's not going to be noticeable. Okay, so here's the first strip. I'm just going to keep cutting until I've done all this fabric. Okay, so next I'm going to take my twine that I have, and I'm going to start tying the fabric pieces. I have a whole bag of all the fabric pieces I cut up, and I'm just going to start tying them to this string. And I'm not really doing it in any particular order right now, but I'll see like what the pattern starts to look like if I want to do like a color order. But yeah, you just do a simple knot onto the string like this. And we're just gonna keep going with it and fill in the entire string. So yeah, I'll update y'all when it's finished. And it should just start to look like this, and it just makes a cute little banner. Okay, this is what the fabric banner looks like. I made 2 of them. Here's the other one. And now I'm gonna hang it up so that y'all can see the final look once it's hung up. Okay, so the next birthday decor DIY we're doing is a chain link banner. So for this, you're just gonna need different colored paper. Similar to the fabric banner, just pick whatever paper colors you like. You can go to a craft store and pick out some scrapbook paper, or you can just see what different colored paper you have on hand. This one's super fun, super easy. Scrapbook paper at the store cost about 69 cents per individual piece, and I would say you need maybe like 9 sheets of scrapbook paper, maybe more if you want it to be a longer banner, but that's only gonna cost you about $5 for the colored paper. So this one's super easy. And then of course you'll need a stapler to staple. Let's go into how to do that. Okay, here's all the scrapbook paper I have for this. I'm doing the same color theme, but just very colorful. So I have greens, I have some yellows, I have purple and blue, but yeah, this one's gonna be super cute. I'm really excited. This one again is super simple and easy. All you're doing is cutting the paper and then folding and stapling it. Let's show you how to in the next. So for the paper chain, I'm going to cut the scrapbook paper into 1/4 of an inch sections, and I'm using a paper cutter to do this. Okay, and then we have this, and to make it into a chain, we're just gonna do this. And then you can either glue it, staple it, or tape it. And we're just gonna keep making these and then connect them all to create the chain link. Here's what the garland should look like as you're piecing it together. Just adding loop by loop. And I stapled it, but you can tape it as well, or glue it. Here's the finished look of the garland, and now let's hang it. Okay, so this next birthday craft DIY decor is a birthday face banner. So what you're gonna need to do for this craft is go through your photos of the person whose birthday it is and find different photos of them through different ages in their life, compile them all into a Canva doc, make each photo black and white, and then you're gonna print out the photos and cut them out. So this step is free, you just need a printer. Let me show you what I did for mine. This is all in preparation for my husband's birthday. I just found a photo of him kind of at each stage of life, whether like he's a baby, toddler, middle school, high school now, and I just compiled them. Then I made them black and white, and I made it so that I can print them out easily, and I just did it so that they take up 1/4 of a page. That way they're super easy to print, and make sure that they're the same size. The other thing you'll need for this craft is just some string. Any string will do, so whatever you have laying around the house. And then you'll just need some pom-pom puff balls and colored scrapbook paper. I'm using the same scrapbook paper I'm using for the chain link. You won't need much scrap paper for this, so I would say estimate $2 for scrapbook paper, and you don't have to use the puff balls, you could just use the scrapbook paper, but if you want to elevate it a little more, estimate to spend $4 on the puff balls. So if you're doing all of that, you can estimate to spend $6 on this craft. And again, this one's super easy. I'm going to show you how to do it in the next step, but all you got to do is cut out the face, get some hot glue, cut, attach. This one's gonna be super easy. I'll show you in the next step. Time to cut out those faces. Oh my gosh. Okay, so with the faces that I cut up, I'm going to make a hat for them with the different scrapbook paper I got. So how I'm gonna do that is I'm just gonna take one of the faces. So I'm gonna take this face and I'm going to put it on here. And I'm gonna take a pencil and I'm just gonna trace like a cone triangle shape, and then I'll cut that out and glue it to the face. So I'm just gonna cut out the hat that I traced. Okay, I cut out the hat, and now I'm just going to glue it to the head, and then I'm going to add a little pom-pom on top. Okay, here is the banner with all the little faces. You just have to glue it onto the back, and it's really simple. Only requires a few supplies, just some scrapbook paper, the printed out faces, and either a puff ball or use scrapbook paper for the ball. And yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay, I'm gonna hang it so that y'all can see the final look once it's hung. Okay, so this next craft is so fun. This is the inspiration. We're doing a watercolor card. What you'll need for this is some hardstock paper and then your watercolor supplies. I like to watercolor, so I already have plenty of watercolor supplies on hand, but if you're needing to buy a set, you can get a simple set on Amazon, I think for like $6 or $7. Then you'll also need a ballpoint pen. I'm going to draw first on here. You can also like trace if you want, and then I'll fill in with the watercolors the color of the picture for the card. So yeah, this is just a super simple, cute way to make a card. If you already have the paints and watercolors on set, then this is totally free, personalized way to make a card that is just a little more elevated than your typical store-bought card. For the card, I'm taking a cardstock piece of paper that's white and I'm folding it in half so that I can get the measurements for when I draw on here. Now that it's folded in half, I'm going to draw this design on here to paint in. I'm going in with pencil first and then the pen so that if I make any mistakes, I can fix it. Okay, so I have the pencil outline. You might not be able to see it that well. I'm going to go in with the watercolor and then erase the pencil. Then I'm gonna outline and pen what needs to be outlined. I have my watercolor pen and I'm gonna go in with a blue. And these are so cool how they work. There's water in the tip, or there's water in the base, and then you can fill it and do it as you go. Okay, so it's the next day. This is what it looks like now that I've painted it. And now I'm just gonna go in and I'm going to erase the pencil lines, and then I'm gonna go in and trace and fill in with a pen what the lines should look like. Okay, so this is the final with the pen tracing. I added some details in the candles, and I'm going to probably add and pen "Happy Birthday, Erin" right there, and then fill in the card, of course. But yeah, I think it turned out really cute. Not sure if y'all are curious, but while I'm working on these DIYs, I am watching the Pipeline Surf Contest. Let me show y'all. Just a girl and her Pipeline Surf Contest. I like always have that on, or I always have a surf live stream on, but right now since the Pipeline Lexus Challenger is happening, I have that on, but I usually always have a live stream of surf on while I'm doing stuff. So yeah, anyways, I finished the lettering. I outlined in pencil and I did some like dashes to help with spacing. Now I'm gonna go outline it with pen and then erase all of the little dashes. Okay, here is the finished card. You can choose whatever colors you want for the little painting, obviously your own words and lettering, and you can really paint any picture you want, but yeah, just some cardstock and watercolors and you can really make whatever card photo you want. Okay, look at how cute this is. I just took some scrapbook paper and cut it into these little candle bases and then cut a flame out with yellow scrapbook paper and then got some rope, well it was like twine, and cut a little piece, glued it on top of the flame, and then glued that to the brown wrapping paper. So really only requires 3 steps: the flame, the rope, and then the base with scrapbook paper. And then yeah, just a super simple, cute wrapping paper look. For this next craft, this is the inspo, some balloons with ribbon, tied fun ribbon, not the ribbon that typically comes with the balloons. For this, you'll need some helium balloons, preferably without the ribbon already tied, but you can cut it off if it already comes like that. I just asked for them to bag them and not put the ribbon on when they blew them up. And then you'll just need some fun colored ribbon to go along. This craft will cost you $10. What you're gonna do is you're going to take the balloon, and be careful since it is filled with helium that it doesn't fly away. I'm just gonna kind of like hold it between my legs and keep this bag on it to help weigh it down. And you're going to tie your ribbon to the end here. the ribbon to stay on. And the thicker the ribbon, the harder it is to keep it on. So I obviously think the thicker ribbons look cute, but go for like a middle in between, not too thick, but kind of what I have. It's not like a full inch. You also don't want the ribbon to be too thick because then the balloon wouldn't float. But here we go. We have it tied. Now we just need to cut it to the desired length. I'm gonna cut this little piece because I'm worried it's gonna be weighed down by all of the fabric. That's good. Now I'm just gonna measure out the height that I want for the balloon. Oh no, it's starting to sink. Yeah, you definitely don't want a thick ribbon for this. Maybe, I'm gonna like try like this length first. I'm gonna try like a pretty short length and see how well this works. This is gonna be like a science experiment figuring out how much for it to not be weighed down. Okay, I think this floats. Let's see. What about this? That floats. Yeah, you can kind of do this to see the resistance. That floats. That floats. That floats. That floats. That floats. Alright. Oh, that starts to fall. Okay, cool. So when it starts to fall, then you know. Okay, I think this is a good length. So it's going back up. Help it out. Let's see if it stays. So it's kind of short. So we'll keep it like that. I don't know. Guys, I'm like figuring this out. Okay, it like floats in the middle. I think that's good enough. Okay. Y'all will see the vision when we get there. Yeah. Let's do the rest of the balloons now. And this is what it looks like once it's tied. Let me do the rest and show you the final look. Here is the finished look. You cannot tell me that these fabric strings just don't like elevate the balloons so much and aren't like the cutest things ever. Okay, I'll take a video of them so you can see them like not so close up to my face. Okay, in this last one, here is the inspo. I'm going to be making this birthday cake. So I got mix and icing and then some special sprinkles. All the ingredients totaled up was $6. Of course, you'll need some eggs and milk, but those are usually household staples. So just $6 for the cake mix, the icing, and then the extra special sprinkles that I wanted. You could also elevate this and buy some candles, some special candles. I might do that too. I will show you all of the supplies I bought in the next step. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope this was super helpful in planning whoever's birthday you're planning. I know it's gonna be great. Let me know if these tips helped. Let me know if you're using any of these decor pieces. Send me a photo if you are. I'd love to see it. Go to my Instagram, I'll link it here, and send me a photo. I'd love to see how your decor piece turned out. Thanks for watching.